Well, with single-digit temperatures arriving for the Christmas weekend, the Kingsport Fire Department is reminding residents to put a freeze on winter fires. This morning we have Brickey, the public education officer, here with us to go over some important safety tips as we all kind of brace for this first, real winter weather, I think, for the season. Good morning.
Good morning.
Temperatures are dropping quickly.
They are, and anytime we see the temperatures go down in single digits, we're going to see a higher risk of home fires. And a lot of times it's because of heating equipment, and whether it's space heaters that are too close to things that are combustible, or maybe people are going to fire up the fireplace or the wood burning stove or some other type of alternate heat, and they may not be prepared yet.
And it seems like too this year, even versus other years, with those heating costs going up, people are looking for ways to kind of keep that bill at a certain level. So trying new things, which could probably be dangerous.
Well, it can be. If you've got a fireplace or if you have that wood burning stove, make sure that the chimney's cleared out before you start, because it has to draw out and has to get that smoke out of the house. Make sure you have a nice screen in front of it if you have a fireplace. That way you don't have sparks coming out into the floor, and keep those combustibles at least 3 feet away. Also, make sure that when you're cleaning it out at the end after you've had a fire and you're getting those coals or the ashes out, make sure they've cooled off before you dispose of them, and always use a metal container to put those in, and then get them far away from your home before you dispose of them.
How often are you starting to see it? Seems like this is kind of that message that you guys come out with pretty much about December, January every year when you're going on those calls. I'm sure it's just devastating to see these homes.
It is, especially around this year, about this time of the year. Everybody wants to celebrate the holidays, celebrate Christmas, but there can be tragedy, and we don't want that to happen. December through February is the biggest time for home fires overall, and those are normally all, like I said, related to heating. And so we need to take precautions. If you're using a space heater, don't plug it into a power strip because it will overload it. It could catch it on fire. Make sure that you are at least 3 feet away. And that goes for your pets and for your children too, running around the house. Make sure they're not getting close to the heaters. And make sure you have one that if it tips over, that it turns off. And a lot of times people may have an older one that doesn't do that. And then another thing we've seen over the years are those big coil in-wall heaters for maybe a home that's a little older.
Okay.
And the switch on that is really not an on-off switch, it's just a thermostat. And when it's turned way down on these nights that's cold, it'll kick on, and we've seen multiple fires over the years where someone has forgotten that heater's going to kick on and there's something too close to it and they have a structure fire.
Yeah, I've seen those, and you think, that if you're turning it all the way down, that you're turning it off. So you really need to be careful. And space heaters, like you mentioned, the newer ones seem to have a lot of safety features, but some of these old ones can be really dangerous really quick.
They can be too, and most all of your new heaters are going to be cool to touch. They're not going to get up to the higher temperatures, but the older ones, the ones that we really like, that keep us nice and cozy, if you touch them, they could burn you, and they are putting out a lot of radiant heat, and we need to make sure that we use those properly. And another thing that we've seen for people who may not have a central air system or central heating, we've actually seen people use their oven to heat their home. It's inefficient and it can be very dangerous. So that's one thing that we remind people not to do. Maybe you need to close off a couple of rooms, get in one of the rooms that's like your main room, or maybe just the bedroom, and then that way it's a lot easier just to heat that with a small heater that's safe.
That's a great idea. Kind of just stay in one particular area, get through the next few days so our heating bill doesn't go up. And just a quick reminder, I know carbon monoxide still, and fire detectors, smoke detectors, also important.
It is, and especially this time of year when we have a little bit of wind and maybe some cold, there's always a chance of having a little bit of snow. And so you may have some limbs fall and they may knock the power out. And so if you're using a generator, make sure it's a good distance away from your home because it does produce carbon monoxide. Never use it inside your garage or really close to your home, and you should always have a carbon monoxide detector if you're using any type of alternate heat or using that generator. Plus you need to make sure that your smoke alarms are working, and if you're going to have company over for Christmas, make sure they know your home escape plan.
Okay. Some great information as we head into the holidays. Stay warm, Barry. Bundle up.
Absolutely.
We'll get through these next few days. All right. Here is some information. If you would like more home heating safety tips, you can check out either of these two websites. They have a lot of great information that can help you keep your family safe during these cold days.